Welcome to the Weekly Weather Observations Overview video. Each week for lab, what you're going to be doing is compiling information both that you collect from your weather station that you set up in your backyard, at work, wherever, and weather collected from an automated system nearby. So the chart looks like this. So you can see there's temperature, wind speed, humidity, so on and so forth. You notice that there's two of each. The darker gray is for your observations using your weather kit that you have at home. The second one, the lighter gray column, that one is for the information gathered from a nearby automated weather station. Now, before I show you examples of that, I just want to walk through some of these here. So make sure you're recording these in the same units every single week and record what units those are. That way, when you go back week to week, you know exactly what you need to be recording and what units you're recording them in. Ideally, you have the same units for both your weather station and the automated one that you're using for each of these. Now, when you get to these later ones here, your cloud cover percentage and cloud type, the automated stations aren't going to have a cloud type. It takes a person going outside and recording that information. When you get down towards the visibility, that's another thing that usually those automated stations don't have. However, if you have a nearby airport like the Dalles or Hood River Airport, usually those weather stations have visibility because that's pretty important um, for air transport. So the other thing to think about here is each week we're going to be learning about how to record some of this information. So in week 3 we talk all about humidity and dew point, and then the following week we talk about cloud cover, cloud type, and then we talk about air pressure, wind speed. So you're going to be learning how to take measurements as the weeks progress. So the first week or so, some of this information is not going to be quantitative. So you're not going to have actual numbers listed here. So what you're going to do is just say, oh, it's warm, it's cold, I think it's humid, I see clouds, that kind of thing. Unless you want to try to use the tools in your kit before we learn about them. That is totally up to you. So to show you one of these websites here, so if I say use the Dalles, and if I am on campus, if I click on this Wonder Map, when you zoom in, you can see more and more stations. So if I zoom in here on the Dalles, as we get closer, we can see more and more stations show up. And since I am on campus, I'm going to use this station. So if I click on it, and then I can click on this blue hyperlink here, it will take me directly to that station. And then you'll see the weather elements that are being recorded. So before you pick a location, make sure that that station is recording all the information that you're going to need. One thing to note here is depending on what website you're using, sometimes you can change the units. So one thing that's important is the pressure. So typically on our station models, and when you're going to be recording things at your station at home, you're going to be using millibars for pressure. And so if you're, say, in the Weather Underground website, if you scroll back to the top, there's a gear symbol, and you can change that to degrees Celsius, and what it will do, it will change your pressure over. And you can change it to different wind speeds and so forth, depending on which one you decide to use. So that wraps up that video. If you have any questions about your weather station recording your data for each week, please let me know.